Exosquad is one of a kind, since despite the hundreds of cartoons set in space, none of them bothered to take their subject matter that seriously, and with an ongoing plot to boot. In fact, it's the only Western animated series that can be called a decent space opera. I mean, there are a dozen worthy space operas in general, but they are either live action or anime in format, with this being the only exception. Exosquad explores all the usual topics of technology found in classic science fiction, and on paper it does an exceptional job at showing the effects of uncontrolled science when it comes to dehumanizing someone to the point he's treated like an object or a machine part. At the same time, it's full of action and mass destruction, showing the devastation of war, not chickening out on killing civilians and soldiers, and even portraying the effects of PTSD at points. Adding to all this, it deals with Machiavellian politics, manipulation of the masses through propaganda, and rebellion caused by mistreatment of certain groups of people. And above all, the good guys are not always winning at the end of every episode. In fact, there are no clear-cut good guys and bad guys, since everyone has its ups and downs. So with all these goodies inside a single title, why does nobody call it the best cartoon of all times? Why does nobody mention how special it is? Better yet, why does almost nobody know about it? It's one of the most criminally underwatched animated series in history. And the answer is the Uncanny Valley effect. Just like it happens with anything that is too different from the norm, and in a similar fashion to the original Gundam series in Japan, people didn't like it that much. Also, at the time it came out, the popularity of mecha and space exploration was mostly over. The younger audience was used to and wanted to see action with superheroes, not spaceships and robots. Although there still was a large older audience who loved space operas, very few preferred animation over live action. Unlike Gundam and the other space opera anime that followed it, the West had the budget and the technology to keep all the serious stuff in live action. Japan could not do that much, which is why we are used to sci-fi and fantasy being in anime format, while treating like shit anything they try to do in live action. And even if you overlook all the cultural stuff, the show by itself is not exactly perfect. Despite the serious subject matter and the characters behaving far more mature than your average slapstick comedy talking animal, the whole thing is not that well presented. Every topic and concept gets explored only on a surface level, and most of the characters are fairly one-note. Body language and dialogues are still silly at many points, and the animation has a lot of quality drops which reduce the impact of several events. Although death is a thing in the show, in later episodes it doesn't have the same importance, since they can keep cloning the dead with the memories of the original intact. So it becomes the same thing as getting wished back to life by the Dragon Balls. Also, the show ends with a major cliffhanger. It's the beginning of a new arc, by the way. The war is over and so is the initial conflict of the story, so you at least get a closure in that regard. You can skip the final episode, and that will lessen the disappointment. Despite these issues, it's still a worthwhile title that deserves to be included in the best cartoons of all time. It's special and memorable if you see it as the only good Western space opera cartoon. Just keep in mind that it lacks the more serious approach of live-action series, and it's not that well animated if you are looking for a rule of cool.